Good morning and welcome to Morning Moments. Thank you for joining us today. I am so glad that you took the time to listen to us today. And I have a great interview today with a author and a speaker. She has written several books and very unique. And I like to call her a historian or history. And you'll see why put the emphasis on his. And she writes a lot of great history books. And I'm privileged to bring to Morning Moments Jenny Cote. Welcome, Jenny, to Morning Moments.
Good morning, Andy. It's so great to be with you.
Let me ask you the question.
Mhm.
What do you do and why do you do it?
I write books because God gifted me and inspired me and tells me what to write. So I write for kids because that's where my passion lies. And in bringing history alive, biblical history and world history alive for kids.
And that's what you told in our conversation before. You told me his story is why you do it. His
Right.
story, right?
That's right. Capital HIS because it's all his story.
His
Every
story.
bit of it,
Yep.
every minute of it.
Good.
Mhm.
So what when you try to fulfill what God's purpose in you, what tell me about your books. You get some unique situations with a dog and a cat that I just love to hear about.
Yes, yes, I know it's a bit different. Yes, so I have talking animals that go through time, and we're sitting here today because of a real dog named Max and a real cat named Liz, who were my pets. And I was watching them play fight one morning, and I thought, when did dogs and cats first get on each other's nerves? Maybe when they were cooped up on the Noah's Ark, and then it was like, bing, the light bulb appeared, and I thought, wow, what would that look like if I told the perspective of the animals heading to Noah's Ark from the animals' perspective? And so God loaded the Ark to read the fire cloud to me, and it's the adventure of the animals heading to Noah's Ark, and there's a stowaway on board who's out to kill Noah and wipe out the human race. So the animals save the day, and then God chooses this special team of animals to go through pivotal points of human history and save the day behind the scenes. And I don't mess with the true history or the actual events that happen, but I look for the moments where we don't know how or why something happened. We take it on faith and we just blaze right on by, but I make them the agents that made that happen. And so it's a way to make history really fun for kids of all ages. And these books are geared for 8 and up. Um, but I pull you adults in with me just as much as the kids. Right.
Eh,
Well, there's so much we don't know. They were on
Yeah.
this ark for a year, and all of this, the most incredible thing that ever happened to the planet. And I'm like, well, what did that look like? We accepted on faith that it did, but what did that really look like? And so the genre of my books is historical fiction, fantasy, in that order. We exhaust all we can possibly know in my extensive research. Check my bookshelf to get the history down. But then when you even layer fiction on top of that, it has to be plausible. It can't go against what we know to be true.
Yeah.
And then again, the fantasy is the talking animals part. So it comes together in a unique way that kids, the Bible comes alive.
And it's a series that you put together, right?
Right. Yeah, the first 6 are biblical. So we go from Noah, and then we go to the story of Joseph, and then Isaiah, Daniel, the Christmas story, then the life of Christ, then all of Acts up through the fall of Rome, and now I'm in a 6-book set on the American Revolution, and then I'll do C.S. Lewis in World War II.
Wow. And but by using that cat and the dog, it just allows you to just to before you know it, people are hearing things and hearing history without even knowing that they're being taught that, right?
Right. So instead of the Bible commentary that you have at the bottom page of your Bible, it's the animals saying that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feeding the 5,000, the animals are discussing what did he mean by that and this and that. So they're kind of like running commentary, if you will, to explain what's going on. The hardest scene I've ever had to write was the scourging and crucifixion, right? How do you write that without scaring kids, with novelizing it, meaning bringing the imagery, bringing all of that, and not sugarcoat it and ruin it? And the animals discuss, well, what happens in a Roman scourging? What happens in a crucifixion? And it's a way to gently say the thing he said and in with safe characters,
Yeah.
that the children are gonna be endeared by. Well, and one thing that I'm so grateful for is that, I just say that I'm God's little dictation girl. I said, "You just tell me what to say," because, I'm not equipped to handle this. And everything that He's given me, it's the perfect words. In a dozen years, I've never had a single reader say that the crucifixion or any of those scenes were too difficult for their children, or inappropriate, or scary. I mean, they're gonna be action packed. They're gonna get emotions, but they're handled in such a way. And again, that's all God
Yeah.
inspiring me and telling me what to write. And I think I got a tiny little inkling of what the Bible writers wrote. And one day it dawned on me when I was writing Isaiah writing the prophecies of Messiah. It was like, wait a minute. The very same Holy Spirit that gave him the words is giving me the words. And it was just like this wow moment that I could scarcely take in, because it's the same source.
Now you're also working on a project, or have worked on a project that has a combination of some writers too. Is that
Mhm.
some about that, if you would, please?
I mean, the 1776
Yes. Yes.
book. Okay, yes. So one of my passions is not right for kids to get them loving reading, but to inspire the next generation of authors and writers. So I have long gone to schools and homeschool groups, and I do workshops on creative writing, history, and so forth. Well, for the American Revolution, which I'm very passionate about, years ago I partnered with the National Park Service to do an epic patriot camp, which was a in-person writing camp at Kings Mountain in Cowpens, and it was wonderful. And then COVID killed it. So we took it online last summer, and we had 25 kids from all over the country and one kid from Australia writing the story of 1776. And so they all took on the persona of Benjamin Franklin or Patrick Henry, and they researched. We showed them how to research, how to write, and they crafted their book. And then we put it on Amazon. Kids who are all aspiring authors and historians, they are published authors now on Amazon, ages 10 through 19. And it was a phenomenal experience. And we also uh, enabled them to have a signing at the American Revolution Museum in Yorktown, Virginia, Yorktown Victory Week, and 6 of them came. So these young kids were farther along the game than I was, already
Yeah.
published, already having signings at the best museum in America, I think, the Revolution Museum. And so we're real excited about over 60% of those kids are coming back this summer, and we're doing 1779. So check out the epic story of 1776 on Amazon, and leave a review for the kids. Buy it, support them. So to me, Annie, that almost feels more important than anything I've done, is now passing the mantle to the next generation.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do, to preserve our history and to train them up. We need godly authors out there to crank out truth.
You know, I was just sharing with somebody the other day that if we had a mountain full of diamonds and a mountain full of gold, and under that mountain was all the oil to supply all the oil needs for our world, it still would not compare to the untapped resources when we go by a cemetery and you look at that and say, what a waste of untapped resources, all the souls that didn't fulfill what God had for them. What we need to tap into what God has for us, and just be able to share what God has for us in a great and mighty way. And
And
there's more.
sometimes we don't know.
Yes.
No, I didn't know I was going to be an author when I grew up. I mean, I wanted to be everything from marine biologist and swim with dolphins, to singer on Broadway. To never occurred to me, even
Yeah.
though I was about talking fruit when I was a kid. But I got marketing degrees, and I was in the healthcare field, Children's Hospital, Scottish Rite, got a Scotty dog because I fell in love with Scotties. And then, so it was like I always say, God, you set me up,
Yeah.
because He was preparing me all along the way. And, He gave me this divine discontent with my job. I was like, this isn't what I'm meant to do. And so he led me to my purpose. And, now I work 3 to 4 times the amount of hours I ever did in the corporate world, but I don't work a day in my life. When you're living and working in your purpose, your passion, it's not work, it's joy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Down below we put the website where you could get see all of her books and resources and what she has and and also keep an eye on what she has in the future, what God has for her. And please check out her books, check out her story. And as we close today, I'd like for you to take a few minutes as soon as this interview is over and close your eyes, concentrate and pray for Jenny that God would continue to bless her. She needs your prayers and you need the practice. So pray that God would bless her in a great and mighty way. Thank you for
Amen.
sharing with us today your heart on Morning Moments, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Andy. God bless.
God bless you. Thank you for coming. Pass this interview on. Keep coming back, and may God richly bless you.